Okay, so because this is going to be more than likely a several week, probably maybe towards a month process, time I wait on all my parts to get here and stuff to fix this car with, I wanted to put up a video and I wanted to explain kind of what I talked about in one of my other videos about some of the idea of the modifications on this car. So first I'll talk a little bit about what I've already did. New carpet, padding, radio, AM, FM, Bluetooth. Took the plastic off the back seats and cleaned the rear door panels, lubricated the windows. So all that's looking good. I got all the weather strippings ordered, the headliner ordered. It's all in my possession. New sill plates, console. I've got the seat material in my possession. Everything to finish the interior on this car, I have it in my possession at this point, along with a new windshield and all the rubber seals, front and rear. The engine parts are over here for the LS in my possession. The engine is being finished up. So enough about that. The brakes have been fixed, Willwood, master cylinder, all that. But if people knew how much I hate fender skirts, the worst mistake that they ever made on these cars, especially luxury cars in general, because Cadillac wasn't the only one, they made the fender skirt basically a part of the car where you cannot remove it without it looking stupid. So this car had a structural piece, and you'll see this in the next video right here. Just cutting that away made a world of difference. Cutting that lip away made a world of difference. But as I started to cut, I realized that this car is not in the condition that I was hoping it would be. And this thing is made of Bondo from here to about here. So this pieces I've ordered. And they're actually, the guy had them. The lower quarters are in bad shape, but I'm gonna try, because I'm doing modification, I'm gonna try to make these work and just fix them, but we'll see. As I dove into it, when I bought the car, I went to look at the car, and as you can see in the video, when I bought this car, I was all under it, showing you how to check one out. I knew this car had rust on both sides behind the tires. Now, what I didn't realize was how much this plays a part into what I'm doing. It's just the way the car is designed. All this is attached to each other, and I didn't even think about that. So for me to successfully do a fender skirt delete and not just patch it back up, it's time to fix the rust in the trunk. So I'm gonna have to buy this piece and probably these inner quarter pieces, but not sure on that totally. It's actually looking like I may get away with not having to have the inner quarter pieces because of the fender skirt delete, and I'll explain that. Turn this light on so you can see a little better here. I went ahead and cut this side out too, and you can see the contour of what the car looks like by just deleting the skirt and not doing any other modifications. Not bad. I can live with it, but I ain't so much for living with it. I got the idea from Can Dig It Coppercad, 60 modified Cadillac they built. And what I want to do is make the rear, and I'm not going to totally copy their idea because their idea is a little too extreme for this car. I'm copying my front fender. I want it to be as close to that as possible. So now let's go to the other side. All right, so what I did earlier, I've already mocked the fender skirt up on this side, and you'll see all of that in the collage of videos. But I made a cut earlier using that old fender skirt the other day where I had my mark, this is just tape right here. Like I said earlier in the video, I made the joke about the rod run, putting Bondo over it. I simply cut this on out. Now you can see it taking shape. The next thing I've got to make up my mind is what I'm going to do about this up here. If I'm going to try to make it match the front, and that's going to be probably more difficult getting this. If I want to modify the front, modify this area to make it more look like the front, where it's got that slight curve, than this. And again, simply making that one cut, it eliminated a lot of the trouble that this car actually had. So that may actually allow me to save $794 on buying these pieces, because this car is going to be modified anyway. Now you say, why are you modifying this car? Well, number one, I hate fender skirts, like I said. Number two, I think any car looks better without fender skirts. And number three, this car, you're not losing anything modifying this, because if this car is going to be able to be put back totally original, you would have to cut all this out anyway. So doing this to this particular body, we're not destroying anything that's not already destroyed by rust and Bondo. I'm simply making a modification that I like and not even hurting anything. So if someone wanted, I don't plan on selling the car, but you never know what might happen, and I had to. The modifications that I'll be made can simply be reversed by just replacing these pieces. And that's why I'm steering away from replacing those pieces at this point. I've got under there and looked, and it's pretty solid on underneath. So again, this is not going to be a show car. This is a driver. This car is going to be LS swapped, overdrive, EFI, all the good stuff. All that's coming together as we speak, but it's going to take time. I'm going to fly a friend of mine in the First Gen Club down here from New York. He's going to do all the wiring for me once the engine and all's in the car. I've already bought a lot of this stuff. It's paid for. It's sitting here waiting on me. And that's one thing you need to understand when you're building a car, or if you've got more cars than one like I do, and then you got ideas, you need to take some money every week or two and chunk it towards it. If not, you're going to spend 10 grand at one time. Most people can't do that. I can't do that. I have to spend a little bit alone. So just kind of keep that in mind. But anyway, this is kind of a premiere video to show you the progress on the 59 and what I'm doing. Some of y'all are going to think I'm an idiot. That's okay for modifying a 59 Cadillac, but I really don't care. The idea with modifying this car is to do it to where it doesn't look like it was ever modified. Basically, the way I'm gonna do it, it's gonna look like it was built this way from the factory. And unless it's parked beside another one, you know, the only thing if someone's don't really know, they'd say, oh, this car don't have the fender skirts on it, that one does. So that's my goal. You know, we're not rounding the wheel wells out like a gasser. We're not doing any of that crazy stuff. We're simply eliminating the skirts, make the rear quarter panels match the front contours of the fenders just like any other GM car ever did. Chevrolet 59 Impala, the rear fender matches the front fender on the contour. It looks the way it's supposed to be. It's just the way they work. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If this is some modification that you're crazy enough to try like me, look for that collage video coming in the coming weeks. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so.